Maple Grove's going to have it. Right out in front, they score.
Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of March 7th. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. Today on the show, section final highlights in boys basketball plus girls basketball playoffs.
And in our Sports Jam spotlight, we catch up with 3 University of Minnesota women's hockey standouts from the northwest suburbs. Up first, the state boys hockey tournament. After a win over Burnsville in the Class AA quarterfinals, Wayzata faced a Stillwater team that had just one loss coming in. Trojans ready for action against the Ponies. Defenseman Logan Lindstrand sneaks a shot through from the point for a 1-0 Trojans lead. And remember that one for later. Fast forward to late in the third period, fourth liner Griffin Ness scores on a breakaway here to make it 2-0 Wayzata. But Stillwater gets on the board, and with a minute left, and then they nearly tie it in the final seconds. Alex Schilling makes a huge save, and Wayzata holds on for a 2-1 win.
That put the Trojans into their first ever state final in hockey, where they faced a very familiar foe. The Trojans meeting Lake Conference rival Eden Prairie for the title. Grant Anderson passes across to Jack Carlson, and he tees it up to score from the top of the circle. It's a power play goal, and it's 1-0 Wayzata. Eden Prairie answers. The point shot hits traffic in front, and Casey Middlestat flips it over Schilling's pad and in. This physical game is even up 1-1 after one period. Second period, and Michael Graham on the rush rings it off the pipe and in to make it 2-1 Eagles. They add another to lead 3-1. Wayzata responds on a beautiful shorthanded 2-on-1. Luke Patterson to Billy Duma for the huge goal to pull the Trojans within 3-2. Colin Kubinski then with a nice pass to Matt Nelson. He converts. The game is tied 3-3 heading into the third. And Wayzata's D continues to shine. Lindstrand threads it through traffic to give the Trojans a 4-3 lead. They add an empty netter late, and Wayzata rallies to win its first hockey title 5-3.
It's a huge accomplishment for the school and the city and our team, and it's unbelievable to say you're a state champ.
I've known some of these kids, coached them in AAA hockey and skill development since they were squirts, so it's pretty fun for me to watch them celebrate like that on the ice in front of their families and stuff like that, so that was cool.
Well, John, a great season for the Trojans, and you know, you had the feeling they could be in the mix for this. There were a lot of upsets in section playoffs, and they just kind of stayed with it and stayed the course and win that championship.
It was a terrific state tournament. A lot of good, really good teams in there, and Wayzata plays their best 3 games late, and they come back 3-1 in that championship game. You know, they've got a 5-minute major against them as Hank Sorensen went to the box. Not only did they fight that off, not allowing a power play goals, they scored shorthanded, and that turned the game. Yeah,
you could see that they didn't panic in that one, and I think getting those goals, you know, coming back with that shorthanded goal, especially on the 2-on-1, was huge.
Well, in Class A, the Breck Mustangs shut out Mankato West and Thief River Falls to advance to the championship game. Breck facing a Hermantown team that had been runner-up 6 straight years. Hermantown strikes, Breck fails to clear it. Cole Kepke slams it home, and it's a 1-0 Hawks lead. 3 minutes later, the pass is deflected, but Jesse Jock still gets it in to score, and it's quickly 2-0 Hermantown. Late in the first period, James Lindbergh takes the pass, sneaks it in from a shallow angle. The Hawks go up 3-0 through the opening period of play. Breck gets some chances, like this quick 2-shot flurry in the second period, but Luke Olson shuts the door for the Hawks. Breck has to settle for second place. They fall 5-0 in the final. Now to boys basketball, where top-seeded Osseo came into the Section 5 4A championship game still undefeated. The Orioles putting their 28-0 record on the line against Mounds View. Osseo shoots the ball very well early on. Alan Anderson with a 3 to give the Orioles a 5-0 lead. Later, it's DeMario Armstrong with another 3. Osseo builds a 15-5 lead on this hoop. They'd later go up 19-5. But the Mustangs chip away at that lead before the half. Nate Albers helping the Mustangs get within 34-27 by halftime. Second half, Armstrong hits the 17-footer, and the Orioles lead built back up to 12. And then Armstrong drives. He'll dish to Cameron Betty for 2. Osseo's up 54-39. Mounds View, though, makes a game of it. Albert's great shooter for the Mustangs hits another 2 of its game-high 31 points. Cole Jurek is wide open. He drains a 3 to get the Mustangs within 5 points in under 5 minutes to play. But they would get no closer than that. Matt Bezdacek with a big shot, and he's fouled for a 3-point play, and Osseo's lead is extended to 10. And then the foul fest that was the second half. The Orioles make 22 of 31 from the line to secure the win. Osseo was the Section 5 champions with a 76-65 win.
We just couldn't sleep on. We had to come out 110%, work hard, dive on floor, get all the 50-50 balls, pass up a good shot for a great shot, do all the little things.
Osseo's rival Maple Grove also looked to advance to state. The Crimson competed in Section 8 4A. Maple Grove set for action against Elk River in the section final. Teron Pickford takes the pass and sinks a 3 from the right side. It gives Maple Grove an 11-8 lead early. Elk River starts off pretty strong, though. Zeke Delane gets free inside for 2 of his 14 points, and the Elks lead 13-12. Brad Davison has another big game. He nails a 3 to put the Crimson up by 7. And then Davidson works the clock down before hitting a 3 to give Maple Grove a 4-point lead at the half. He scores 30 in the game. Ryan Bredensteiner, who shuts down Elk River's top scorer Matt Keller, hits a couple of hoops in a row early in the second half. Trent Pink hits a 3 for Elk River as they try to rally from 13 points down. This cuts the deficit to 7, but it's their last hurrah. Reed Nico gets the block at one end, and Jack Hutchison leads the break, dishing to Pickford for the hoop and foul as Maple Grove pulls away for a 69-46 win. We'll hear from the Crimson later in the show. Most observers expected to see a Hopkins-Wayzata final in Section 6 4A. Cooper had other ideas, knocking off Wayzata in the semifinals. The Hawks hope to reverse a lopsided loss to Hopkins during the regular season as they face the top-seeded Royals in the section title game. Cooper shows early it will be a different game as Melvin Newbern drives for 2. Newbern spins and gets the floater to bounce in for a 13-6 lead. He scores 24 in the game. Nathan Hill pops a 3 on his way to an 11-point first half, and Cooper's up by 7. But Hopkins makes a run. Amir Coffey to Simon Wright for the tough layup, and the Royals are within 2. Vinny Shahid drives for 2 of his 15 first-half points. It's 42-36 Royals. Coffey goes coast to coast to throw it down. Hopkins takes an 8-point lead into halftime. Second half, and Ishmael Elamin's 3 stretches the Royals' lead to 11 at 51-40. But Cooper never blinks. Bijan Newbern knocks down a 3 to give the Hawks the lead 64-62. And the younger Newbern drills another to give Cooper another lead at 67-65. But Hopkins closes the deal late. Shahid drives and scores to put Hopkins up by 5. Coffey pours in 26 to lead Hopkins to a close 87-82 win. Coffey talked with 12 Sports' Ryan Iverson about getting to state after missing last year's tournament with a knee injury.
Oh, it feels great. I couldn't play last year, and my team made it to state. And, I wanted to be out there with them so bad. So it feels great to get back there with myself.
So 3 local teams are in the Class 4A tournament, and they're all in the top 4 in the seeding. Number 1 seed Osseo plays Eden Prairie in the tournament opener Wednesday at 10 a.m., followed by Maple Grove against Lakeville North at noon. Hopkins plays North St. Paul at 2 o'clock, and Blaine meets defending champion Apple Valley at 4. And it should be a great tournament, John. We could see an Osseo Maple Grove rematch again in the semifinals.
And Hopkins Apple Valley wouldn't be too bad either. Also, a couple other local teams got to section finals but lost to Tino Grace in Section 4 3A. Breck lost to Annandale in the 5 2A game, and Prairie Seeds Academy falls to Minneapolis North in the Section 4A final. Next up on Sports Jam, girls basketball takes center stage as the playoffs heat up.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. Time to talk girls basketball playoffs.
And a couple of exciting semifinals in the Section 5 4A tournament, including Osseo and Park Center playing for a 3rd time this season. Pirates junior Michaela Hayes works her way free inside for 2, and Park Center has a 10-6 lead. Mina Port scores a 3 for Osseo as the teams go to halftime tied at 20. Much better second half of play in this one. Ari Jones with a couple of early threes to make it 32-28 Osseo. And Simonette was on fire in the second half. The Pirates junior hits a three to give Park Center the lead, back by 2. Michaela Hamola, big game for the Orioles. She scores 3 of her 19 points here. Simonette makes 5 second half threes. This one puts Park Center ahead by 8 at 52-44. Osseo keeps this a close game, and Kiara Russell makes 2 free throws with 1:17 to go, capping a 9-0 run and putting the Orioles up by 1. Under 30 seconds to go. Pashayo Ayobamidele banks in a corner three to give Park Center the lead for good. The Pirates score the game's final 5 points late to pull out a thrilling 57-53 win over Osseo.
I was not expecting that. In my mind, I was open. I took the shot, and I just hoped that it went in, and it did.
In the other semifinal, Champlin Park beat Roseville 50-47. Hannah Crimble and Erica Hicks had 16 points each for the Rebels. So it's Champlin Park versus Park Center in the section final Thursday night at 7 o'clock at Anoka High School.
In Section 6 4A, 2 Plymouth-based schools matched up in the semifinals as second seed Wayzata met third seed Armstrong. Masengo Mutunda takes this one all the way for the Falcons. They trail by just 3 late in the first half. Hannah Hiring hits a 3 for Wayzata. She scores 16 points. The Trojans lead this one 45-36 at halftime. Second half, and Hannah Bachmeyer drives from the wing to score an uncontested layup to keep the Falcons close. Cameron Hay has a big game for the Trojans. She turns and scores in the lane here to put her team up by 3. And Hay drives baseline, misses, but fights for the rebound and puts it up and in. 18 points in the game for the junior. Mutunda is a talented freshman. She scores 23. This hoop brings Armstrong to within a point. But the Trojans hold their lead. Annie Robertson drives and scores as Wayzata pulls out a 70-61 win, thanks in part to Hayes' big second half.
I just wanted to help my team. We needed a little bit of a push to pull ahead and secure the win. So just trying hard to get some rebounds, get my team some points.
Top seed Hopkins has no problem with Cooper in the other semifinal, winning 80-45. Wayzata meets Hopkins for the section championship Tuesday at 7 o'clock at Roosevelt High School. The Royals won both regular season meetings with the Trojans.
Like their boys team, Maple Grove has moved into Section 8 4A and girls basketball as well. Third-seeded Crimson hosting Buffalo in the quarterfinals. Autumn Malinar grabs an offensive rebound, fires it out to Mackenzie Barta for the catch-and-shoot three. Maple Grove leads 6-1. Linar picks up another assist here, setting up Allie Schmidt on the block for 2. Crimson are up by 6 in the game. They'd lead from start to finish. Caden Ludeman tried to keep the Bison close. She drains a 3, part of a 16-point night for her. The Crimson hold that lead. Kylie Binstock steals it at midcourt, and she'll go in for the layup, and it's Maple Grove by 10. Barta has the hot hand. Another 3 for the Harvard-bound senior here. She had 7 3-pointers in the game. Nice give and go between Schmidt and Barta leads to another 2. Barta racks up a school record 37 points, and the Crimson win 66-51. The news, however, not as good in the semifinals for Maple Grove. They lose to second-seeded Elk River 53-49. Elk River will play St. Michael Albertville for the section championship.
Several local girls teams in smaller classes are still alive entering the week as well. Providence Academy down Southwest Christian 52-35 in Section 5 2A. The Lions meet Holy Family Tuesday in the East subsection final at St. Michael Albertville. In Section 4A, top seed Maranatha rolls over West Lutheran in the quarterfinals. Heritage Christian edges Legacy Christian in overtime. So Heritage and Maranatha play in the semifinals Tuesday at Anoka Ramsey Community College. Latino Grace lost in the semifinals in Section 4 3A. The state boys swimming and diving season is now in the books after the state meet finals on Saturday. St. Thomas Academy wins the Class A title for the 5th straight year, and for the 3rd straight season, Breck Blake is the runner-up. Simley, Sartell, St. Stephen, and Orono round out the top 5. Lake Conference teams go 1 and 2 in Class AA, with Eden Prairie taking 1st and Minnetonka 2nd. Egan is 3rd. Wayzata is the top local team, tied for 17th. Wayzata diver Nick Benson is the only local to make the medal stand, finishing 6th. So, John, not quite as much success for locals in the Class AA meet as we've had in some of the past years.
Good showing, though, for the Bear Stangs in Class A with that runner-up finish. Next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight, catch up with 3 women's hockey standouts from the area. We're getting set for the NCAA tournament with the Golden Gophers. The University of Minnesota women's hockey team has enjoyed tremendous success through the years, winning 6 national championships. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet a trio of local women whose success in the high school level continues at the U. Kate Schipper, Kelly Pannek, and Dani Cameranesi grew up as occasional off-season hockey teammates, but definitely high school rivals. Schipper, the junior from Brooklyn Park, played at Breck. Cameranesi and Pannek both grew up in Plymouth. Dani went to Blake. Kelly graduated from Benilde St. Margaret's.
I remember playing against Dani like in the youth boy days, playing squirts, and just those funny little memories, and playing with Chipper and different selects things. And I've known them for a really long time, both of them, so it's fun to be able to play together. I don't think we had ever thought that that's how it would be, but we definitely really enjoyed it so far, and hopefully we can keep putting up those same numbers that we have.
Obviously, rivalry with Breck and Blake was a huge thing when we were younger, but we had actually played on teams in the summers too, so it was a little bit of a friendly rivalry, but it's always great being able to play against great players who kind of increase your own intensity and ability and make you better.
Not only are the 3 women now teammates, but they're playing on the same line, too.
All 3 of them complement each other really well. Dani and Kate in particular can really get up and down the walls and provide great speed and great pressure, and Kelly Pannek sees the ice so well with some real good finishing ability also.
Me and Dani really like to forecheck and use our speed, and Kelly is the one that's always going to be there to dish the puck and everything. So I think we work really well together, and we also are really able to communicate. Like, we all know to hold each other accountable and learn from each other, as well as don't be afraid to say something. So I think that's our communication is what really helps us succeed.
Things just started mixing really well. Me and Kate Schipper play pretty similar. We use our speed, get to the net, and kind of our grinders. And then Kelly Pannek obviously is really smart and sees the ice really well and gets us a puck as we get her the puck too. But everything's just been working really well, and I think we have a lot of good communication, which helps a lot too.
Cameranesi is one of the top players in college women's hockey and leads the Gophers in goals and total points. Schipper's and Pannek's numbers are both up from last season too. It's that kind of progression that coaches love to see.
And all 3 of them are having breakout years for us this year, and they were all tremendous for us last year, but to see them really elevate their game to where they're at now is really big for our team. I think we have 2 first lines, and Kelly's line being one of those.
All 3 players mentioned the big jump in competition from high school to college, and for the most part, that transition went well.
It was definitely a jump in the game, how the game was played, the speed of it and everything like that. But I think the transition was a little bit easier because I was not moving away from home that far. I knew some people on the team already. I'd played with Melitza. She was going to be coming in as a sophomore that year, so I think a lot of the people really helped.
I mean, after that first year, you're playing teams for the first time, second time there, first time away, first time at home. So those are all different games. And this year, knowing that I can play against the Wisconsin girls or play against the North Dakotas or the Bemidjis, the Duluths, all those people, it's just a huge confidence builder. And knowing that you can still have that offensive production is something that I think you learn over time, and that confidence comes year after year.
Cameranesi won 2 state hockey titles at Blake. Schipper won at Breck. And Pannek helped Benilde win 2 girls soccer titles, bringing that winner's mentality to the Gophers.
Success breeds more success, and we want winners on our team, and because that's kind of the expectation here, is to have a great experience, but also to win a lot of hockey games. And it's really hard to teach players that kind of that winning attitude, that winning edge. So if they have it coming out of high school, it's only a benefit to them and to our team.
The Cameranesi Pannek Schipper line gives Minnesota a nice local flavor. This dangerous scoring trio could very well help the Gophers secure a 2nd national championship as well.
We're still peaking, and we're not quite at the top, and we want to be at the top in a few weeks. But just keep working hard, and to win national championship, it takes a little bit of luck on your side, and I think the harder we work, the more luck that we'll have. So just keep playing how we're playing and pushing along and just working hard every shift.
The defending national champion Gophers are the number 3 seed for the NCAA tournament and host Princeton this Saturday. Sports Jam continues in a moment as Jay talks basketball with the state tournament-bound Maple Grove Crimson.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Maple Grove boys basketball team for the 4th time in school history is in the state tournament. Nick Schroeder, their head coach, joins us along with Reed Nicko. And Reed, you guys came here and kind of took care of business against Elk River in the Section 8 championship. You know, what was the key to this win here tonight and to kind of put them away early?
I think the biggest key was defense. Coach did a great job in practice all week of helping us to know their playbook, and we just went out there and execute what he told us to do.
Obviously, you guys had seen them earlier in the year, but did you really stress that, okay, that one doesn't matter, we blew them out then, we still have to get just as focused or more focused this time around?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had to be more focused. I mean, the playoffs is a completely different animal. I mean, that was an early season win for us. I don't even think that was 5 games in. They were a different team, and we had improved a lot, and they had improved a lot. It was a good team win overall, though.
Congratulations, Reed. Have fun in the state tournament.
Thank you very much, sir.
And Coach Nick Schroeder, your team didn't play as good a first half maybe as you were looking for, but still had the lead and then kind of pulled away early in the second. What was the biggest key there?
You know, I thought we were hesitant in the first half. We weren't real aggressive. In the second half, we talked to our guys. We said, just loosen up and play how we've played all year. And they did that, and good things happened. We started to get some aggression to the basket, got some guys in foul trouble, shot the ball well, finished around the basket, and then we defended extremely well. I thought we did a great job on Keller, an amazing basketball player, and I don't know what he finished with tonight, but I thought we did a nice job on him.
I think it's hard when you have a team that a lot of people are thinking might have a chance to go to the state tournament. It's hard not to look ahead for the players, but do you feel like your team did a pretty decent job of that, or how as coaches do you handle that when they're not thinking about March before it's March?
Well, yeah, we knew that at the beginning of the year. People are already talking to us about that. So as coaches, we had a mindset of making sure these guys understood that it's a one game at a time season, and especially in the playoffs. Not looking ahead to that next opponent or even thinking about the state tournament. So we really focused hard. We had a great scout. We had a great week of practice for Elk River. Didn't even think or talk about the state tournament once. Our guys did a nice job of focusing in tonight.
What's most important for you guys to do well when you get into the tournament, regardless of who you end up matched up with?
We have to play loose, and we have to get every guy on our team to fulfill his role, whatever that role might be. Our 18th guy on the end of the bench has to fulfill his role all the way up, and if every guy can do that to their highest ability, we're going to be tough to beat.
Thanks for joining us, Nick, and good luck in the state tournament.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
So Maple Grove into the state tournament. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam for you in just a moment, but first, our plays of the week.
Here's Amir Coffey alone for the dunk. Back out, Io Bombadilli. 3. It's the man. Back to Bezdicek. Loose ball up in, and he's fouled. That's how you finish right there.
Osseo Orioles survive a scare in the Section 5 final. They are going to the state tournament for 2016.
Yeah, outstanding game here. Get ready to shoot some hoops for Treehouse Youth Programs on Sunday, March 20th at Armstrong High School. For more details on this fundraising event, go to inthecommunity@12.tv.
That'll do it for this week's Sports Jam. We're nearly to the end of the winter season, Jay.
Well, that's right. Next time we'll have state boys basketball and adapted floor hockey, plus section finals in girls basketball too. We'll see you then.